My name is Christopher, and we're from Harvest to Hall. Y'all saw Nate and Tyler from the previous video. Today we're interviewing mine and Nate's grandpa, and we're going to ask him a few questions. I know some of the viewers, we said that we're going to get some interviews of you and Uncle Tom. So I reckon this is going to be the first one with you. So how did you get started in farming? I know we kind of explained a little bit of Papa Jimmy, or talked about him before, but
Yeah, my daddy. I used to farm with him.
at what age?
I started probably when I was 8 or 9 years old,
Uh,
driving tractors.
uh,
We even had people go up there and tell Daddy, "Did you know them boys was on the tractor?" He said, "Yeah, 'cause I left them out there working."
Now, was the pay good, or was it,
Yeah, you get $5 to go off that weekend. You
uh,
buy gas for you.
uh,
Of course, at the time I didn't have license, and I'd pay Mr. Kenny some money to put gas in his car, and
uh,
I'd ride around with him.
so how long have you been farming, I reckon? How many years now have you been?
Since 1973 on my own.
And what generation are you farming? Or is it just Papa
The
Jimmy?
fourth generation.
So you are the fourth. So that would make,
Yep.
what, me and Nate the
Fifth.
okay. All right.
I reckon 4 + 1.
Yeah,
5.
yeah, I reckon. I didn't know if you kind of somewhat count that, I reckon. But so how has kind of things changed since you come up? I mean, I know a lot has changed,
Yeah,
but
a lot has
I mean,
changed.
what do you expect with what's to come? I reckon versus where you've been, because you've talked about the computers before in the equipment.
Yeah, the technology has way past my intelligence. And there'll be a day when you'll sit right here in the yard or in your house and you'll be running equipment sitting here.
Yeah, a lot of that's already started with the autonomous stuff. So how? Has it? Have you? I know every farmer's gone through rough years, but how bad has it been? Obviously, what, 68 years old now.
Yeah.
So explain that a little bit.
There's been some real bad ones, and there's been some real good ones. And the real bad ones, just one real bad one takes about three real good ones to get over.
So, how you bounce back from something like that?
You just grit it out, bend your back, and go to it. You cut back everywhere you can. Live very thin to try to make it.
So how much have you learned? I reckon how much have you learned, or that you're using, that you've learned from whenever you kind of first started farming and stuff? Like I said, a lot of stuff has changed. Are you still using the old tactics?
A lot of it, yes. Like plant depth on corn, fertilization, all that is just pure basics that you have to learn. And once you learn that, you're out up with Mother Nature has got the final say so. And if you respect the good Lord, and Mother Nature will take care of you sooner or later.
So let's see here. Other than the technology, is there anything else you've had to adjust to? I reckon
Ways of farming. Everybody used to think you had to have fields pretty and clean, and didn't realize that that was the worst thing in the world you could do to the soil structure. No tilling by far is making much healthier, more productive soil.
So I reckon with that, how much do you think technology has helped you since then? I reckon that could go with preciseness with planting and stuff.
Right.
And
well, by being hands-on person, always got to have my finger in it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But if I were having to hire somebody to do everything and I wasn't actually involved in the physical work myself,
Mm-hmm.
the technology would be greatly enhancing my operation.
Uh-huh.
But being a hands-on type person, what I understand and what I know how to use, I'll use it.
Yeah.
But what is over my head and out of my realm of comprehending what it does,
Uh-huh.
I just throw it away and keep on going.
Uh-huh. So I mean, you're pretty much just double checking after the computer, essentially.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of times with planting and stuff, I see you get out with your tape measure and stuff, and
Yeah.
make sure everything's
Yeah.
right, your depth and spacing and all that.
That's right.
Is there anything you're looking forward to this year? I know obviously a good crop harvest, but
yeah, I'm expecting a very good crop, but that's always the farmer's anticipation is a better crop. Always looking for a better year.
So I know Nathan is in the room with us, but so what do you think about the extra help on the farm now? Instead of 6 hands, I reckon you got 8 now. So
yeah, it's very, very welcome to have him back here, and glad he is helping us. Because I'm getting older every day.
Yeah, yeah.
And it don't feel as good for me to have to do all that heavy physical work as it used to.
Yeah. And so I know you keep up with it, but as we kind of dwindle this down, you want to give us a market report? Closing out.
Market report.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my opinion, it ain't looking too good for this year. There's so much carry out stocks on the grain markets, and with the crops that are anticipated coming out of South America, it don't look too good, and the cost of production is hammering us bad, and we can't. I don't know how. Just like replacing equipment, I don't understand how the environment we're farming in can expect us to keep buying new equipment. And there comes a point in time you have to replace equipment because you're either going to pay for repairs and maintenance or downtime, or you're going to make payments.
Exactly.
But like I say, with the amount of acres you try to cover, and from the standpoint of a narrow window of time to get things done, to try to get it at an optimal time to have the highest yielding crops you can have, you can't afford downtime. And then on the flip side of the coin, you can't afford these payments now.
No. And you talk about equipment. Roughly how much was your first tractor, or your biggest tractor that you first bought? What was it, and roughly how much do you remember it was?
The first tractor I ever bought was a smaller tractor. It was a 52 horse tractor. I think it was $7,500 new. That same tractor now would probably be in the neighborhood of $30,000.
That's crazy.
And my first big tractor, so-called big tractor at the time, was a 125 horse tractor. And I thought I had lost my mind because the financial people I was dealing with at the time agreed to finance it for me, but it cost me $21,000. And looking back, it was just a drop in the bucket of what they cost now.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing,
No.
It's outrageous now, I reckon.
Just like my daddy, your Papa Jimmy, first big 6-row combine he ever bought, which was humongous at the time, $28,000 for a combine and 2 heads.
Yeah, it's definitely come a long ways.
Now you can't even buy a set of tires to go on one for 28,000.
Yeah. Yeah, it just blows my mind to hear, kind of what me and Nathan had to look forward to versus, kind of what y'all look forward to was, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. But yeah, you realize how cheap it is further down the road and
Right,
stuff.
when you look back.
No.
But
So
I've said ever since I've farmed, I don't see how things can keep going like this.
yeah. Which I mean, how long have you been saying that? Ever since the beginning?
Ever since I started on my own in 1973.
No.
Of course, when I used to help Papa Jimmy, I didn't realize all the overhead that went into.
No, which I feel like me and Nate were kind of like that. Now you actually are showing us more in depth of kind of what goes on to it and stuff. But yeah, me and Nate found out real quick. It ain't just get in there and drive the tractor and take off. Especially now, like you said, how high the equipment is and stuff. You gotta be very cautious. So as we're about to wrap this up, you want to give us roughly a 2-week update on how everything's been going on the farm for us?
Well, I think for the last 2 weeks, about everything I've touched, all the wheels have fell off of
it. Yeah.
It's been a time. It seems like when things are like this, when your operating costs are so outrageous and high, is when you have the most problems. And the commodity price is down, so you're not going to wind up making the money you usually make. And it's just been one thing behind another. Touch this, and one thing breaks, touch that, and something else breaks. And this situation where preventive maintenance just goes out the window. You just get on what'll work and go with it.
Yeah, exactly. Which now I reckon we're kind of in a time crunch with fertilizer and stuff.
Yeah,
because you got Uncle Tom spraying, and then you're spreading.
Yeah, Uncle Tom trying to get the corn land. We're fixing to get started spraying the corn land. I got to spread the fertilizer.
And we got to pull out the planter.
Got to get the planter serviced up and ready to go.
Well, we do. We are kind of on top of one thing. I mean, we got the subsoilers ready and stuff. So
yeah, y'all did get that done.
Yeah, I reckon that's one thing we're ahead of.
That was a great help.
That one little bitty thing compared to 5 other things.
Well, that's a big deal. The subsoilers, and all we got to do is go hook up to them and go to the field.
No.
If the wheels don't fall off the track.
Yeah, you better be careful getting in the combine this year. You better let somebody else get in it first.
But it's a challenging time right now.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
Yeah.
But I've been through them before, but worked myself out of them. But it just don't feel as good. And I'd have to work hard to overcome the bad times.
Yeah.
And I love farming. It's in my blood, and I don't know of anything else I could have done and enjoyed my life this much.
So this really isn't like a job to you. It's
well,
I reckon kind of like a hobby. I reckon it's just something you love to do.
I'm like some of the singers say that enjoy music. When you enjoy it don't feel like you're doing anything. It's really not work.
No, you're exactly right.
But you're always looking forward to a better year every year. And I guess that's the challenge. I love to face that challenge.
It's always a gamble. You don't ever know what kind of hand you're going to have for the year.
It's just like sitting at the card table. You don't know what kind of game you're going to have till it's all over.
No. But I reckon that's going to wrap us up. Is there anything you want to add before we close? What do you think about the farm page? Obviously, this is Harvest to Haul.
It's very interesting.
Something a little bit different, ain't it?
Yeah, a little different.
I reckon that's the the younger generation of me and Nathan kicking in.
Yeah.
And all the technology and stuff. Hopefully it'll work out. Everybody will view this. Like I said, I'm Christopher from Harvest to Hall. Nate, he is currently behind the camera, and this is Grandpa. And y'all will see more of Grandpa throughout this year, and probably many more years to come. Like I said, he is the
I
man.
hope it'll be a lot more years.
He is the man of the show. Anything that I reckon me and Nathan do on the farm, he either told us to do it or it goes through him somehow. He keeps all of us in check. Uncle Tom too. Uncle Tom is the biggest one to keep in check, I reckon. So, but I reckon that is it. Thank y'all for watching. And
well, Uncle Tom's just short on people's skills. That's his biggest problem.
yeah. Well, thank y'all.